guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my thoughts on some new beauty releases, either products that are coming out this month or that were just announced and are going to be released pretty soon. I like to do these videos whenever like some products catch my attention, whether it's once a month or every other week. So I kind of do these sporadically, but this video series is always inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series that she does on her channel every single Wednesday, which is basically kind of like the same idea. So I will link her channel down below, and if you guys want to know my thoughts on some new beauty releases, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I really wanted to make this video because a palette was announced this weekend that I really wanted to talk about, and I wanted to know your opinions about this palette. And it's the new Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered Eyeshadow Palette, which will be released on May 22nd. So the Rose Gold palette came out, I think, in 2016, I believe. And that was like super hyped up. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people had like a lot of mixed reviews about it, about the different formulas and textures within the palette. And I kind of regret not buying the palette. It's been, I think, sold out for about a year now. Like, they discontinued it probably a year ago. I know a lot of people love that palette. And so they're basically reformulating it, and I saw a comparison picture on Trendmood. No, this is from Hotfire Makeup. I'll put it up right now. A comparison of the original palette and the new palette, and to me, like, I keep staring at this photo and zooming into it, and I'm like, okay, maybe there's like two different matte colors. To me, it basically looks super similar. I wish I had the rose gold palette to compare it to, but I don't. But I really actually do want this palette. But I do want to know your thoughts about the remastered palette idea. I know Huda Beauty on her page was talking about how when they first came out with the rose gold palette, they couldn't invest in a lot for packaging and details to the palette, so they wanted to basically do it better this time. And I was just like reading through the comments. I love reading through the comments on Trendmood because I really want to know what people are thinking. And I know a lot of people were upset because they have the original one and they wish they could get this one instead, and that the money was put into the original packaging and everything, which I totally understand. But also because this palette has been gone for about a year now, I think it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I don't have the original one, so I might feel differently otherwise. But I like that it's coming back, and I like that it's coming back with different textures and formulas. That way, if you do already have the palette, it's not the exact same thing. So I'm really curious about this. I hope that I like it. I do want to get it. I'm a little hesitant if it's just on a Huda Beauty site the day that it releases. I want to definitely get it at Sephora in case I don't end up liking it, because I do have the Desert Dust palette, and I want to like that palette. I keep it around and say I'm going to use it, but I just can't get myself to use it because of all the different textures and formulas that to me just take a lot of extra effort that I don't want to spend in an eye look. But I really do like her Mini Obsessions palettes, at least the ones that I do have. I really love the formula of those shimmer shades in there especially. And this palette looks like there's so many shimmers to it. It basically looks like an expanded soft glam palette, like soft glam plus pink and a lot of rose gold in there, which is basically my color scheme. So I'm really excited about it. It looks like a gorgeous palette. Alright, so next up we have another eyeshadow palette, which is actually already released, but I did want to talk about it because it just released this past week. And this is from Alamar Cosmetics, which is a brand new brand, and it's La Reina del Caribe palette volume 1, which means there's going to be a volume 2, which is what I'm hoping. And this is only $28. It has 8 shades, and it's all inspired by Cuban culture and just a lot of different names. Everything's in Spanish, which is super exciting to me. Like Cafecito, Guantanamera, Celia after Celia Cruz, and it's a color she would wear, which makes me super happy. So I was really looking forward to this palette. I almost purchased it. The only reason I didn't is because I kept seeing spoilers on Instagram that it's supposed to be in the June BoxyCharm, and I'm gonna be really, really upset if that's not true. But I saw multiple spoilers on Instagram, and then I also went to my subscription addiction, that website, to see some other spoilers too, to just confirm, because I really want the palette, and if we don't get it in BoxyCharm, I'm definitely gonna buy it. And I almost actually bought it knowing that we were gonna get it in BoxyCharm, just to like support a new Latina owned brand. So I'm just super excited about this brand overall. I think this is a really awesome starter palette. Just the swatches, every swatch I've seen looks gorgeous. So I'm so excited to try it. Just their Instagram is super fun. Like a lot of their captions are in Spanish, which makes me happy. So I'm just excited for this brand. I know they also have Ojitos Eye Trio, I believe it's called. They're like little brushes, and ojo is eye in Spanish. Ojitos is just like a cute way of saying it. Like little eyes. So I'm just excited for this brand in general. I'm excited for this palette. I think it's an awesome look, feel, packaging, just the whole branding is spot on, like right off the bat. So I'm just excited for it, like I said 50 times. But the only reason I didn't purchase it is because it's supposed to be in BoxyCharm. Alright, so I may just be only talking about eyeshadow in this video. I'm looking like through all my screenshots and saved pictures on Instagram, and everything I save and want is eyeshadow. And the next thing I wanted to mention is the new Dose of Color eyeshadows. So these are eyeshadow singles. They're a whole eyeshadow collection. It looks like there's gonna be 20 single shadows, and it just looks so beautiful and foiled, and just like the colors are absolutely stunning and amazing and everything that I want to put on my eyes. But I will say that I was pretty sad that these are single shadows and not an eyeshadow palette, because when I first saw the spoilers and the swatches, I totally thought this was gonna be an eyeshadow palette, and I really wish it was an eyeshadow palette, and that's the only reason I probably won't be purchasing it. I know that might sound like really dumb if I really want it and it's just like a matter of packaging and like putting it all together, but I just love the cohesiveness of an eyeshadow palette. I know I don't gravitate towards singles. If I go in my makeup collection, when I go to use my makeup, I just want to use one palette. I don't want to pull out a bunch of different palettes or just use single shadows. Like, I like the whole thing all together. I don't know. And I'm almost mad at myself for being stubborn about this, because I was saving like every spoiler picture just from seeing the swatches. It just looks so gorgeous. And once I found out it was eyeshadow singles and not an eyeshadow palette, I'm like, oh, can't buy it. It's singles and not a palette. Let me know if any of you guys feel the same way as I do when it comes to eyeshadow singles, because it's like, to me, this is the first time eyeshadow singles like really caught my attention, and now I'm like not letting myself, not that I'm not letting myself buy them, but I just know that I'm not as excited as just like the single shadows in a little pot compared to a nice, beautiful eyeshadow palette that has like all of these colors that just go together and are awesome. So I'm hoping that these single shadows end up turning into an eyeshadow palette down the line. Of course, I already have some palettes, but if they come out with like a quad of these just like shimmer shadows, I'd probably end up buying that. So I'm hoping that's what it ends up turning into, like in a couple months maybe. Alright, so last I want to talk about the new Milani Gilded Desires Eye and Face palette, which is going to be $20. It comes out this summer. We don't have a date for it yet, but this is a palette that has it looks like 12 eyeshadows and 2 highlighters. It also has a full-size mirror, and it has a mix of mattes and shimmers. So I'm actually super excited for this, because I've been meaning to purchase the new Milani eyeshadow palettes, the $20 palettes that everybody's been raving about. They have a matte one and they have a all shimmer one, or I think it's mostly shimmer, maybe like 1 or 2 mattes. But I've been wanting to get both of them to review, and I always go to the Milani site and start to do my order, and then I just get lazy and never end up following through with it for some reason. But this makes me happy that I haven't done that, because I just go on their site and there's so many new releases and I want so many of them. Like, they have a bunch of highlighter palettes, and this way I could just get one thing which has highlighters, it has matte shades, it has shimmer shades, and I don't have to spend like $200 on a bunch of products that I want. So I'm really excited for this. It's a warm tone palette, but it has like basically all the colors I wear all the time. It kind of looks like the color scheme of like the Soft Glam palette, and I also love that it has highlighters too, because there's just so many Milani products that I've been dying to try lately, and I think this makes it a little bit more cohesive for me to just like maybe just pick up one product to start off, because it can get pricey even for the drugstore. But this honestly looks like pretty much like a high-end palette just looking at it, and I've seen so many amazing reviews for the other Milani palettes and even their highlighter palette, so I'm definitely interested in purchasing this. So I'm excited for this one, and it makes me feel better that I procrastinated for so long placing my Milani order, that they just came out with another palette that I actually want more than the other 2 palettes. So I definitely think I'm going to be purchasing this. Alright guys, so those are all the products I wanted to mention for today's video. Definitely let me know your thoughts about them in the comments down below. Let me know where you're going to end up purchasing. Let me know if there's anything that I didn't mention that you're eyeing in the comments too, because there's definitely so many products coming out like every single day. So let me know what's on your wish list in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.